Hello, welcome to Daily News from Marjayet TV. Daily meetings of the Grand Jurist Ayatollah Shirazi in Holy Qom. The Grand Shia Jurist Ayatollah Sayyid Sadegh Hosseini Shirazi hosts groups of visitors on a daily basis at his central office in the holy city of Qom in Iran. In these meetings, religious scholars, clerics, activists, academics, and public groups of Shia believers meet with the Grand Jurist in person and listen to pieces of advices by His Eminence. It is worth noting that these meetings are held on a daily basis before the noon prayers. Activities by the Office of Grand Ayatollah Shirazi in Kabul, Afghanistan. The Office of the Grand Jurist Ayatollah Shirazi in Kabul, the capital of Afghanistan, hosts large numbers of visitors on a daily basis. Various groups of religious activists, cultural experts, and public groups of people visit the Grand Jurist's office and meet with the director of this center, Sheikh Muhammad Arif Kusha. It is worth noting that Sheikh Kusha also teaches miscellaneous subjects on Islamic history and jurisprudence using the books of late Grand Jurist Ayatollah Sayyid Muhammad Shirazi at Fatimiyya Islamic Seminary. Nonviolence Incorporation publishes message on International Anti-Corruption Day. Nonviolence Incorporation published a message calling for universal battle against corruption, coinciding with the International Anti-Corruption Day on December 9th. Parts of this message reads as follows. In the name of God, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Almighty God says in Holy Quran, indeed God doesn't like the corrupt. Corruption in all its forms is strongly condemned in all cultures, faiths, and ideologies. However, we can see that systematic corruption has managed to find roots in organizations and governments. Corruption has been a major factor in the suffering of nations and the crises and catastrophe that human societies go through. In this sense, there are thousands of examples in history. Coinciding with the International Anti-Corruption Day, Nonviolence Incorporation declares its full support to the laws and regulations aimed at combating corruption. It also emphasizes the effective confrontation with all forms of corruption, political, economic, administrative, and other forms of corruption that have plagued nations. The Human Rights Organization also believes that the international community needs to take urgent and decisive measures to eradicate corruption in a bid to secure the interests of their nations and countries. Unfortunately, there are many solid proofs indicating that some governments have chosen to turn a blind eye to systematic and governmental corruptions, giving space to tyranny, racism, discrimination, and suppression. Therefore, Nonviolence Incorporation calls on the United Nations to pass legislations and set up strict laws to combat corruption on all levels. Hopefully, the battle against corruption will be an end to forced immigration, insecurity, and instability in many countries.